Couple finds their dream of quintuplets is nothing but thin lie. Finding out a new baby's on the way is a happy time for most couples, and sometimes tears. It's an exciting and nerve-wracking time as you transition from just the two of us to being responsible for a little human being. Nonetheless, raising a child is a tremendously gratifying experience. Barbara and her boyfriend Paul were both nervous and happy when they found out they were expecting their first child shortly after starting their relationship. They knew a baby would bring them closer together, even if they were still learning about each other as a couple. The pair, however, soon discovered a tremendous surprise. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to be inspired by these real-life stories on a daily basis. Now, let's return to the story. Barbara stated that she's expecting 5 babies, despite the fact that they thought they were only going to have 1. Yes, raising quintuplets would be the couple's first time as parents, a big challenge. Despite the challenges they would face, Peter was pleased. He'd always wanted to be a parent. Unfortunately, Peter's hopes of becoming a parent were dashed on the day his children were due to be born. Barbara had been concealing a dark secret from him, and it would be revealed at a shocking moment of truth. This story of love, parenthood, and the ultimate deception will astound you. Barbara and Paul fell in love at first sight when they met in 2013. Their whirlwind relationship in Montreal may be best described as a fairy tale love story. They threw themselves into it immediately, despite the fact that their friends and family thought they were moving too quickly. They knew they'd discovered the person they were supposed to be with. Barbara, on the other hand, received some surprising news after only 8 weeks of dating. She was expecting a child. She was initially hesitant to tell Peter because she feared he'd leave, since they'd only been dating for 2 months, but she eventually summoned the guts and dropped the bombshell on him one day. Peter, on the other hand, was ecstatic. "We were overjoyed," Peter explained. "Even my parents were ecstatic to have grandchildren." And the excitement only grew with another announcement. Barbara disclosed that she was expecting twins as her pregnancy proceeded. The news stunned Peter, but he was also ecstatic. Barbara's pregnancy became even more thrilling when an ultrasound revealed that she was expecting quintuplets. Peter was ecstatic and felt really fortunate. The couple decided to create a Facebook group for Barbara's pregnancy so that friends could stay up to speed on her progress. Many individuals stepped forward to help, presenting the couple with gifts that would be useful once the infants arrived. Some friends, on the other hand, were not pleased with the pregnancy news. One of Barbara's friends, Genevieve, was very suspicious of the pregnancy. Since she'd just had triplets herself, she knew quite a bit about having multiple babies, and Barbara's stories weren't adding up. She was especially surprised that it took until so late in the pregnancy for an ultrasound to reveal quintuplets. Genevieve was likewise perplexed as to why Barbara wasn't sleeping more. She was far too busy for someone having 5 babies and should have been on bed rest. When you're pregnant with multiples, your body is put under a lot of stress. As a result, Barbara's assertions and the lifestyle she was leading in the final months of her pregnancy didn't add up. Despite her friends' reservations, Barbara was exhibiting all the physical indicators of pregnancy. During the early stages of her pregnancy, she suffered from severe morning sickness and, according to Peter, had the oddest dietary cravings. Of course, no one could ignore her enormous tummy, which was getting bigger by the day. How could someone question if she was pregnant? All the signs were there. Barbara's water finally broke after months of waiting and anticipation. The couple immediately packed a hospital bag and all the items they would need for a possibly lengthy hospital stay, and the house was abuzz of joy and terror. Peter was ecstatic since he was only a few hours away from becoming a father. In March 2014, the couple sped to the hospital, weaving in and out of rush hour traffic. Peter proceeded to check Barbara in when they eventually arrived and discovered some shocking news. Barbara had never been pregnant before, according to the hospital records. Peter claimed that it had to be a mistake because she went to all of her pregnancy appointments. The hospital, on the other hand, stated they had no records of her pregnancy. Hospital personnel sensed something fishy was going on and that Peter had been misled. They agreed to give Barbara a comprehensive blood workup to set his mind at ease and provide physical evidence. And, well, let's just say the blood test findings were alarming. With the results in hand, the nurse informed Barbara and her boyfriend that she was having a phantom pregnancy. Despite the fact that her body was displaying outward indicators of pregnancy, it was all in her head. Quintuplets were never seen. Everything was a complete farce. It would be an understatement to say Peter was crushed. His goal of being a father vanished totally in an instant. Susie Levesque, a psychologist at the University of Quebec, told the Toronto Sun that phantom pregnancies are uncommon and mainly occur in women seeking confirmation. The lady appears to be unknowingly seeking benefits, Levesque said. She's attempting to bring attention to herself. Barbara's doctors felt that she was distressed and chose to detain her for psychiatric assessment. While there is no medication to treat the mental symptoms of a phantom pregnancy, counseling and the use of mental health professionals have shown to be effective in the past. However, some of Barbara's family members weren't sympathetic to her mental condition. In fact, many believed that she'd never believed she was pregnant, pulling the wool over Peter's eyes all for attention. Could it be possible someone was that malicious? Yes, it appears. One family member who requested anonymity confessed that she had attempted a similar act years before. This isn't the first time she's done something like this. But to be honest, we didn't think she was sick enough to do it again. No one in the family had been informed she was pregnant, especially not with quintuplets, according to another family member. Barbara is thought to have cut her family off in order to plan her pranks without intervention from her relatives. That way, no one would be able to discover her lies. One of Barbara's ex-boyfriends came forward with a very similar story after hearing about the quintuplet farce in the news and on social media. He also appeared to have dealt with a pregnancy scheme that had broken his heart. According to the ex, Barbara had told him she was pregnant with twins, and they went through the same situation, only for the hospital to reveal that she'd never been pregnant. It seemed Barbara had a real knack for lying and creating situations that simply didn't exist. Another relative revealed to the media that besides the fake pregnancy scam, Barbara was known to fake terminal illnesses. In fact, she'd once turned the family upside down when she revealed she had cancer and a heart condition. Of course, neither of these claims turned out to be true. Thankfully, Barbara is now locked up and receiving psychiatric treatment, so the family hopes to escape further suffering. What she's done to these defenseless men is completely unjust. Hopefully, she'll finally be able to receive the assistance she so sorely requires. For Peter, the disappointment of the pregnancy not being real was almost unbearable. He went into a profound despair, unable to comprehend how the lady he had trusted and loved had lied to him for nearly 9 months. It was the ultimate form of betrayal for the unwary man. He'd even chosen names for the 5 infants and put in extra hours at work to prepare for their arrival. He now had to deal with the consequences of Barbara's falsehoods, as well as sort through all the gifts they'd received from friends. Peter planned to return everything to the people who had been so generous to them, hoping to find peace and unwilling to keep the baby presents. He would donate any leftovers to those who needed them the most. What a sad twist of fate. Fortunately, Peter hasn't given up hope and feels that one day he'll meet the right woman and be able to be the parent he's always desired. To minimize future heartbreak, we recommend that the next time a woman claims she's pregnant, he attends with her all the prenatal checkups. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone else who might enjoy it as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.